Most entrepreneurs don't fail because they don't have the right skills. They fail because they don't execute the right things at the right time. So if you're stuck below 100K in your business, let's talk about why. And more importantly, let's talk about how to fix it. I am Megan Ewing, founder of Think Big, Act Bold, and I help entrepreneurs hit their first 100K in their businesses by setting up automations and strategic processes to help with their growth strategies. So let's jump right in to today's topic, and we're going to talk about the 3 reasons why entrepreneurs stay stuck below 100K in their businesses. The first reason is there's no clear revenue plan. So you're focusing on busy work instead of money work. Most entrepreneurs are busy, but they're not making money because they aren't focused on those revenue generating activities. The most common mistakes that I see is spending too much time on content creation, organizing systems, or getting ready instead of selling. Second is pricing too low or not having a scalable offer. While you're thinking about the services and products that you offer, if it's going to require you to be the one to execute on everything, you're limited by your time. So the goal is to figure out your offer and then make it scalable through automation and other processes so that it takes you out of the equation and you're not living off of the time that you're giving by yourself. Third part is there's no clarity on how many sales they actually need to hit to make 100K. So if we're focusing on this 100K goal, let's do a little reverse engineering and let's break it down. So 100K, your business is if your business is operating on a 12-month year, that's $8,333 per month. So if your business has slow seasons and you have already kind of seen that, for instance, I actually operate on a 10-month year, so I take 2 months off. So on my 10-month year, I'm required to make $10,000 per month. So we have our monthly amount. Now we're going to figure out, okay, what are our offers? So if I'm trying to make my $8,333 a month and I have $1,000 offer, I'm going to need 100 clients this year. That means 8 to 9 clients per month to actually reach that goal. If you have a $500 offer, you're going to need 200 clients this year, which is going to be about 16 to 17 per month. If you have, say for instance, I have a $49 membership offer with my inner circle. So for my inner circle, I would need 171 members to hit that 100K goal. Now keep in mind, as we're talking about our offers, most businesses have multiple offers. So whether you're a coach, whether you're a dance instructor, whether you're a photographer, it's usually just not one stream of income coming through your business. So you're going to take that into account. And as we're starting in the beginning, it takes a little bit of work because you have to see, okay, what offers are selling more, what offers are selling when, and then which ones should I be promoting more. So that kind of breaks down after you get through a few months of data to see what offers are actually working, and is it that they're not working because of your marketing, or is it that it's just not a good offer and you should revisit it and have a few tweaks to go with it. Number 2, no consistent lead generation. So there's no systems to attract clients daily. You should be generating leads every single day in your business. That doesn't mean that you're working your business every single day. If you're working Monday through Friday and take weekends off, you should still be generating leads on those weekends because you set up systems to work for you. Hoping for clients is not a strategy. If you don't have leads coming in daily, your business will always feel like a hustle. And from anyone who has the hustle mentality or survived the hustle mentality, eventually you're going to get burned out. Eventually you're going to get exhausted. So that's the importance of automation, and that's the importance of getting these systems in place so the systems are working for you instead of you working for the systems. The common mistakes I see are relying on only referrals or word of mouth. Word of mouth clients are absolutely amazing. You've had a past client validate you to this new client. So they build the know, like, trust factor where you don't have to spend so much energy doing that. But you can't depend on that. You can't depend on only that. Those are like the unicorn. So That's great. That's amazing. We love them when they come in, but you have to work a little bit harder than just expecting people to send business to you. It's your business. So take ownership of it and run it like you love it. Second part is posting content, but not turning it into actual sales. So, content creation and social media is a give and take. So, I brought up the no like trust factor. You have to first introduce yourself to your audience, let them get to know you a little bit. After that, we're going to move into getting them to like you a little bit. And then we're going to move into getting them to trust you a lot. Once they trust you, then you don't have to keep selling to them because you've already built that relationship with them. Another thing with the posting content is sometimes you're overselling. Every single post that you put up, every story, every reel should not be you advertising your product, you talking about your product, you trying to get a sale, because eventually people are going to look at you like a used car salesman and they're going to run as fast as they can. Give them some insight to your life. Give them some motivation. Show them you're human just like them. So that way you can connect with them on a deeper level and they realize, yes, while to run a business, we have to sell. We're deeper than that. And our business is personal. The next one is not having a system that brings in leads every day. So this is what I'm talking about as we're setting up our systems. So how are your leads coming in? Are you collecting the data to know how they're coming in? Another way is I have a lead capture form. I have multiple lead capture forms because I want to know exactly what lead capture form brought my lead in. Was it on Facebook? Was it on Instagram? Was it on LinkedIn? Was it through my website? I want to know that information so I know where to put my marketing efforts. And if you don't have a lead capture form, you're probably getting random emails or getting random phone calls, and you're required to answer the emails, answer the phone calls just to push the lead through, when a lead capture form would give you their information, give you name, email, phone number if you would like it, and you can also include questions. So you're kind of going through this process of almost interviewing your leads before you even speak to them. And that way you can figure out if they're a good fit for you. Once you realize if they're a good fit, then you know how to talk to them in the next conversation. So whether you set up a consult or whether you go straight to a meeting, you can figure out exactly what they need and what services or offers that you can provide that will give them and fulfill the needs that they're looking for. So how are we going to fix this? Easy. We're going to build a simple lead system. So you need one strategy that brings in leads every single day. Just focus on one. As you get this one working and flowing easily and you bring in your automations to make it flow without you, then you can start bringing in other ones. So decide on your focus. Are you going to focus on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then push those into a lead magnet funnel? So that's what I'm talking about, like those lead capture forms. And then those lead capture forms can actually go down into a deeper workflow that automates emails and everything else. Are you going to focus on live content? So YouTube, IG lives, and then you're going to push them into DMs and email follow-ups. Or are you going to focus on in-person networking and partnerships? And then those lead into business referrals. So you're attending these networking events, and so a lot of times they have virtual ones too. You're sharing what you do for your business. You had, before you're going in these networking events, you have already figured out your elevator pitch. So you're not wasting a bunch of time trying to stumble over explaining your business. You get straight to the point. Here's my business, here's what I offer, and here's who I help. Who do you know that would benefit from my business? And then they will give you referrals. Somebody's going to come to mind when you start talking about your business to other people. So drop in the comments, which lead generation method are you going to focus on first? Are you going to do social media? Are you going to do live content? Are you going to focus on the networking events? There's no wrong answer here. Figure out what's going to work best for you and your business, and you'll be amazed about the growth that you see through this month by just focusing on that one. We're going to jump into reason number 3 why entrepreneurs struggle to get to that 100K mark. No execution or no accountability. Ideas without action is wasted time. Most entrepreneurs know exactly what they need to do, but they don't execute because there's no accountability. The problem with shouldn't say problem. One of the struggles of entrepreneurs is you're getting over employee mindset where someone tells you, here's what you're doing today, here's what time you start work, here's what time you get off work, here's what time you take lunch, here's what time you do this, here's what time I expect this in. And when you're an entrepreneur, you're that person for you. So you have to tell yourself when you're getting things done. You have to tell yourself when your workday starts, when your workday ends. It's hard to do alone. So a lot of common mistakes that I'll see is overthinking or waiting for the perfect time. Spoiler alert, there is no perfect time. The perfect time is like today, like right now, as you're watching this video, whatever you're thinking about, the idea that you've been ignoring, execute on it now. Take 3 steps today to bring that idea to life and watch what happens. There's no perfect time for anyone. The other thing is starting things, but then never finishing them. We'll start things, we'll get excited about it, and then we may ask for somebody's opinion. Or we may just get caught in our head and imposter syndrome hits, and we're like, I can't do this. Nope, I give up. I'm not doing it. It's not worth it. And we talk ourselves out of it before we even finish and before we even see the fruits of the labor that we deserve. Another one is doing it alone and without guidance. We need people. Entrepreneurship feels very, very, very lonely, but it doesn't have to. There's accountability groups. There's people that you can connect with. There's people in your industry that would love to sit down and just, hey, here's how my week went. Here's a client that I was dealing with. I didn't know how to handle it. And the advice can go back and forth and it gives you that comfortability. So how are we going to fix these mistakes and move past them? We're going to join a system that holds us accountable. So find a system that works for you. I have my inner circle group. It's an accountability group. We meet every single Sunday at 8 p.m. and we discuss a topic. And then afterwards, we are planning our week. So we are making our to-do list. We're going through and getting everything written down, or if you're digital, putting it on your iPad or whatever. And we're making sure we hit those targets and we're making sure that the needle in our business is moving. It doesn't have to jump from 50% to 100. If it jumps from 50 to 51, we're making progress. Imagine if you jump 1% in your business every single week. Imagine the growth you're going to see at the end of a year. So what are you looking for when you're talking about accountability? First off, weekly check-ins, whether it's a personal group, whether it's accountability group, whether it's a group that you pay for, a free group, a networking group, no matter what kind of group accountability partners that you have, make sure you're meeting weekly and make sure when you're setting that time, it's a time that you can stick to majority of the time. There's always a few cases where you may have to miss or it may not work out one week, but you want to make sure it's a time that works for you regularly. The other thing is focused execution. We're not just there to vent and gossip and complain about how bad business was this week or a client that got on our nerves. We're there to put action steps behind what our ideas are. So we're going to talk about our ideas, but along with those ideas, you want action steps, because if you just keep meeting every single week, throwing out more ideas, all you're doing is building ideas that aren't going anywhere. And ideas without action equals nothing. A good idea isn't a good idea until there's action behind it. The last part is real accountability. So a group that keeps you on track. You don't want a group of yes men who are just gonna be like, oh, you're amazing. Oh, you did so great. Oh, nope, there's nothing you have to change. You want someone who's going to call you out. You want someone to say, hey, last week you said you were going to attend 3 networking events and I saw on Instagram you laid in bed all week binge watching Netflix. You want someone to do that. It is a pain in the beginning. It's a pain when you're hearing it. It never feels good to get called out on the things that you have to fix, but it's needed for growth. So get around people that you can trust that they're going to let you know when you need to take more action and that they're going to keep you on track with the goals that you're setting. So, we have our top 3 reasons why entrepreneurs struggle to hit that 100K mark. So, now what? So, what are we going to do about it? So, let's start and set our execution game plan. So, let's create our 100K business focus for March. So, I don't know when you're watching this, and if it's not March and it's April, set it for April, set it for May. Whatever month you're in, set this execution plan so that you can grow your business this month more than you've grown your business any month before. So we're just going to call this our simple execution plan. It's 5 steps. That's it, 5. Now that we know what's stopping most entrepreneurs, we're going to create a plan to fix it, and it's going to be customized for our business. The first part, revenue goal. How much do you want to make this month? So if you're following the 100K 12-month work year, 8,333,000, great. If you have a different goal in mind, if you only are reaching for 50,000, or if you're reaching for 200,000, figure out what your monthly revenue goal is for this month that you're in. And if it's a slow season, keep that in mind. If it's a busier season, keep that in mind also. Second part, what's your core offer? So we're focusing on one offer this month. One, not 2, not 7, not 20, not 1,000. I know you have more than one offer. I get it. I do too. But we're focusing on one offer and one offer only. So what are you selling? What is that core offer going to be for this month? Lead strategy is number 3. So how are we bringing in leads daily? We should have at least one lead every single day this month. And if we're noticing they're not coming in, we need to get to work. We need to figure out, okay, why are they not? Am I making it too hard for them to reach out? Are they not able to get the information that they need to know if they're a good lead? So we're going to figure out that. Number 4, our sales strategy. Okay, we figured out the leads. We have our daily lead coming in, at least one, hopefully a lot more than one. How are we converting those leads to sales? So it's one offer. So I'll give you an example for my business. So for my execution plan, I am focused on my Inner Circle membership. So I have my lead strategy. I have a free challenge going up. I have my actual meetings. I'm doing live. So I have all of that set up. So how am I converting? I'm getting these leads. How am I converting them to sales? How am I educating them to let them know that my Inner Circle membership is for them and they're going to see results from it? So what's my sales strategy? How am I bringing them from they entered my inbox or entered my DM to actually becoming a client of mine? And then accountability. Who's going to hold you accountable in these goals? Who are you going to check in with? Is it one person? Is it 3 people? Is it 4 people? Is it a huge group that you're going to be held accountable with? The one suggestion that I make with people when you're considering accountability partners is I always suggest more than one person because life gets in the way a lot. So you don't want to only have one person and then say they have something that takes them away from their business for 2 weeks and now half of the month is gone and you haven't been held accountable for what you were doing. So that's why I strongly suggest accountability groups where you can check in with multiple people. And if someone needs to take some time off from their business, it doesn't affect you and the accountability that you need to grow your business. So if you haven't been writing your answers down, take a few seconds now, write your answers down to these 5 questions and really, really think about it. This is an execution plan that I promise will bring you growth this month if you commit to it and just give yourself this 30, 31 days to really push harder. So I know we covered a whole lot, but I also want you to understand that knowledge without execution means nothing. The biggest shift that you can make is committing to actually following through on these strategies. So however you're deciding to, make sure you're committed to it. And I always strongly suggest, so you have your list, you have what you're focused on this month, keep it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. Keep it somewhere where you're going to get that reminder of what you're doing, what your focus is, and where it's going to take you. That revenue goal should be a goal that's like, whoa, if I make this, I'm going to feel great about my business. And keep that up front. Make it bold, make it colorful, make it anything that you need to do to stay committed to it. And you'll be amazed of how much progress that you make. So get to work. We are doing our execution plan. We are moving forward with everything. And we're going to set up our lead strategy. We're going to set up our sales strategy. And we are going to be held accountable for our actions. If you are wondering, hey, I don't know who to reach out to for accountability, feel free to join the Inner Circle. There's information in the description. It is $47 a month. That's it. We meet every single Sunday, so it's 4 meetings. And on top of that, there is co-working every single Wednesday, office hours every single Friday, and it's a group of us. So we will all hold each other accountable in that. And you don't have to worry about looking for accountability partners. These are entrepreneurs. We're going to map out your execution plan for every single week. You're going to get real-time support and guidance. I do Q&A every single Sunday, and you don't have to do this alone. You will have your back and you'll have ours. So the doors to the Inner Circle are open, and if you're serious about executing on your business goals, I'd love to have you inside. So feel free to drop a comment and I will send you the link to join. So thank you all for showing up, and now let's go and take action and make this your biggest month yet.